E3 2021. It happened. And yeah, you saw the big leagues, the heavy hitters, and all the other usual suspects. Well, except for Sony. But unlike previous E3s, giant AAA games weren't the only ones soaking up the limelight. Instead, indies and other hidden gems got their fair share of stardom, standing toe-to-toe with some of the loudest titles on display. There was a whole bunch of them. So to make it easy for you, I went through them all and handpicked 23 hidden gems from E3 2021. To begin, we had the Mail Carrier 1986 Make Friends with Townspeople simulator, also known as Lake, or as I call it, my future retirement plan. There was the Bullet Time Frenzy Max Payne-inspired werewolf vampire shoot-'em-up in a shape-shifting motel, El Paso Elsewhere, or as I call it, my future retirement plan.
Would you believe that this is a love story?
I would, between me and this game. What about that show-stopping sci-fi retro-future 2.5D action platformer Replaced? It's a game about an artificial intelligence trapped in a human body against its own will. But really, aren't we all? Man, that's deep. Play as a kid waiting for the end of the school day to kick a ball around, and most importantly, kick it at innocent bystanders in Despolote. Additionally, learn about life while you're doing it. Man, that's really deep. Somerville. Nothing like good old family fun time running for your life from a civilization on the brink of ruin. But man, whoever that guy is, he looks lit as shit. Sure, Nintendo may not be doing anything with Pikmin as far as we know, but hey, in the meantime, Tinykin has taken the reins and putting a twist on it all its own. Look at that style. Speaking of style, what about ditching computer graphics altogether? Voco Bulantis is a handcrafted stop-motion puzzle platformer, and now I demand more handcrafted video games.
Harold Halibut is a handmade narrative game about friendship and life on a city-sized spaceship stuck under sea.
Oh, well, okay, sweet. Harold Halibut is exactly that, so thank you. And now, for something completely different. Like Signalis! This classic survival horror looks awesome and terrifying. Might need to take a walk and calm down after playing this one. Good thing there was a game called Walk showing off, a PlayStation 1 era inspired game where you play as a powerless schoolgirl running from what the f is that? Okay, well maybe Signalis wasn't that bad actually, after all. Enough of the scares. Thankfully there was that Ghibli inspired narrative game about being a painter called Behind the Frame, also known as my future retirement plan. Then there was that one game where the character puked and then picked it up and put it right back in his pocket. Death Trash. What a name for a cosmic horror action RPG. And if Scoop and Puke doesn't seem interesting, at least there's Loot River, an action roguelike with spatial block shifting and loot. And a river. Death's Door. We'll all be knocking on it one day, but in the meantime, here's a game where you play as a soul-collecting crow until one of its souls is stolen, and it's up to you to get it back in this isometric action game. For something less grim, there's Toem, the game where you take pictures in a black and white hand-drawn world and chat with its quirky inhabitants. And when you're ready to take a break from your photo-taking adventure, kick back to the sizzling sounds of Soup Pot and learn how to actually cook real meals. Dude, yes! Oh, yes! Or how about Sable, this super sweet stylized game where you venture through a sand-ridden world discovering ancient civilizations and technology, accompanied by a soundtrack by Japanese Breakfast. But maybe you don't like sand, because it's all coarse and rough and irritating and it gets everywhere. So instead, you can explore an ethereal dreamscape, confronting inner nightmares in this Persona-esque turn-based RPG in She Dreams Elsewhere. Also, we need more immersive sims. Thankfully, the gloomy steampunk stealth shooter Gloomwood is coming for me to immerse myself right into. Also, that inventory, speaking right to my Resident Evil 4 heart. I like it. And if that one's too dark, you'll be able to wash it down with a hand-painted peaceful platformer, Hoa, where enemies are instead used to your advantage to traverse the environment. Citizen Sleeper, on the other hand, takes the flexibility and fluidity of tabletop RPGs and launches it right into a space station. But if that's too slow, Unbeatable churns up the tempo and volume in this super overly stylized rhythm game where music is illegal, which makes doing crimes totally legit and cool because music is legit and cool. And with no reasonable transition, it'd be sweet if the world we lived in was actually on the back of a giant wandering creature, which is exactly what the Wandering Village is, a city builder sim on the back of this cutie. So there's a look at 23 hidden gems that you may have missed during E3 2021. This year's E3 may not have delivered on all fronts for a lot of players who've been eagerly awaiting that next big look at Perfect Dark, God of War Ragnarok, or Metroid Prime 4. Instead, E3 2021 will go down in history as giving us a taste of something we didn't know we wanted, and that taste is something fresh, new, and unexpecting. Let me know if any of these stood out to you in the comments below. Would love to know if one of these caught your radars that you otherwise didn't know about. In the meantime, I'm just gonna go over here and watch this trailer on repeat. Thanks for coming by, and if you'd like, consider giving us a sub. We appreciate it, and we talk about video games a lot, which is a thing I think you like.